Try Time, Radio Merseyside's weekly look at the sport of rugby league. But as I said, we're going to switch codes here, and there's a good reason for it as well. Because if you've been listening across our programmes over the past few days, well, you may well be aware that the BBC, all its local radio stations, is running a campaign called Kit Out the Nation. And it's all aimed at helping young people and supporting young people to get more active because, they've looked at it and there's been a survey around that, well, they've not been on the move, young people, as much as they have been before the 18 months that we've all gone through. And the idea of this Kit Out the Nation is that if people or organisations have any sporting kit of any description, doesn't have to be rugby, doesn't have to be football, could be cricket, anything whatsoever, and you've no more use for it or you'd like to donate it, well, that's what we're doing throughout September. We're looking to see if we can move that kit that you or your organisation no longer has use for or whatever would like to donate, and it will be tied up with our partners and then to local schools and organisations to kit out some young people who perhaps haven't got the finances to do so in an effort to get them all, if you like, back out or out onto sporting fields. Now, one community sports club which has agreed to partner us in the campaign is Widnes Rugby Union Club, known to many locally, of course, as the WIDs. John Loughnane is a committee member at the Heath Road Club, and he joins us now on Try Time. Good evening, John.
Good evening, Steve. Are you all right?
Yes, thank you very much. John, the WIDs, your club that you are a committee member, you've agreed to be a partner in this, so I should imagine that you think it's a good idea, John.
Indeed. As I mentioned to you early on, I was in Liverpool this afternoon. As I'm driving back, I was listening to your programme about this kitting Britain out, and people were going back talking about their sporting achievements prior to being 18, and they were digging up all manner of interesting stories. And it is important, you know. We're on our 30th anniversary of the reincarnation of our junior section. The rugby union, in its wisdom in 1991, saw that school sports was dwindling, and they had a recruit or die campaign, a really big push to get people, to get youngsters into sport. And we've developed quite a tradition for junior rugby. And the simple truth is, our numbers dwindled a bit. We're down to 3 teams at the moment at juniors, and we had intended having a big push. Then, of course, along came the pandemic, and St Patrick's Day last year, we closed the club, and we stuck very, very closely to the COVID regulations. So this campaign of yours is great. It's a great way of encouraging kids to get out there, you know, and hopefully some older ones as well. I know that you're targeting the under-18s, but we are hoping that the legendary guy who's sat on the settee with a remote control in his hand is going to come along and give us a go as well.
Yeah. John, I know that you've been involved in that sporting rugby union for many a year and take a keen interest in other sports as well. So you will probably understand that there probably are families out there, especially at this time, who think, yeah, I'd love our youngsters to get the opportunity to go out there, but I can't afford a kit. They've got no kit. So right. if this comes off and, you know, then some youngsters come across through this campaign, they come across some rugby kit, then they'd be most welcome to come down to the WIDs, wouldn't they? And see what it's all about.
And you know, particularly in our town, our town of Widnes, we have a dwindling number of sports clubs. The pandemic has pretty badly hit a lot of clubs. At least 6 clubs have closed down over the last 18 months. Most recently, one last Tuesday. And it's become apparent that there are less and less people playing sport. And of course, the pandemic has been a serious restriction. So this campaign will get it. So one of the interesting things is that I see you're asking for all kinds of sports kits, and I think that whatever comes through from the attics and the garages could have an important indication of where sports can go. You know, again, as a for instance, we closed our squash courts 18 months ago, a month or so into lockdown, simply because what was popular in the 1970s and 1980s as a sport is nowhere near as popular or financially viable. So we're just coming out and seeing what's going to happen post-lockdown, you know, and I would hope that when we get going out, it'll encourage youngsters to, as they go back to school, to also come out and play sport, whether it be at school or at clubs.
Yeah, John, you make a really good point there, and that is, you talked about the squash. Yes, it's not just rugby. You're a rugby club, but you would encourage people to bring stuff down when we just tell them when they can bring it down to the Wids. Yeah, if it's squash rackets, if it's golf clubs, anything.
We have a very active table tennis section and martial arts class, and one of the most popular sections is class as well. And you never know with it, the way that sports are classed these days, that may soon be up there as an exercise activity. So we don't dismiss anything immediately. You know.
Yeah, there you go.
We do occasionally think about a few things and then dismiss them, but there we go.
John, I know that you and your fellow committee men at the Wids and women have said that there are two, for now, there are two drop-off times that you're going to offer people locally or whatever to come down to the Wids, and that's next Thursday, the 16th. And that's what hours were they, John, that you agreed, was it?
I would suggest from about 5 o'clock onwards, we can make sure someone's here.
Okay.
If we said from 5 o'clock till 10 o'clock, that will give a reasonable cut-off point.
Right.
We'll make sure there are somebody. I would stress, kind of, watch out for restrictions on size. You know, if somebody's planning to bring down a snooker table or something like that, we may need notifying in advance. And I don't just pluck snooker table from the sky. There is a possibility of something like that coming. And then the other time is Tuesday, the 21st of September in the morning, and any time from 9 o'clock till, let's say, 1 o'clock. So you got 2 4 or 5 hour slots there to bring stuff along, and there will be people here.
Great stuff, John. While we've got you, though, my colleague John Lawless is with me as well, so we can hear what's going on. Just want to talk about the Wids, John, in general then. You did touch on it a little bit. A famous club, John Lawless, that has been integral to the rugby picture in Widnes, John Lawless.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been a stable part of the sporting scene in Widnes forever, it seems. I have done a bit of reporting on the Wids myself, Steve, as you probably know, in recent years. And it's a shame that, everyone's slightly struggling for participants and players. It's great that the Wids are getting involved with this KIT initiative. And it's great that we're trying to do something to rectify the government's senseless COVID policies. So, it's great. The Wids have been there forever. Lots of people I know have played for the Wids, friends of mine. Have played for the Wids over the years, and it's great that they're getting involved in these community activities, and more power to their elbow.
Yeah, well, one of the things is we're acting from a position of strength, because with the introduction of the new Lancashire leagues, to be 3 years ago, 2 seasons ago, the first team had a really, really good run, 44 games undefeated. Won the league twice, although the second season was curtailed, and won the Lancashire Trophy. And this is where your 2 rugby league teams you've just been talking about come into the view. We have the trophy at Heath Road that was first won. It was Warrington's first trophy they ever won. That's now Warrington Rugby League. And the first trophy that St Helens Rugby League ever won. We have it nestling in our cabinet at the Wids. It's now the Lancashire Trophy. We were fortunate enough to discover this when the Warrington Heritage Society got onto us, and Ben Westwood, Paul Sculthorpe brought the Challenge Cup down. We were hoping to get the Super League trophy down, but along came the pandemic, as I say. So we do have that league connection, just in trophy terms.
And John Lawless, just that you did touch on it there, you said, but you and I and John can as well reel off a list of rugby league stars who started at the Wids, moved into the professional game just down the road at Norton Park, John Lawless, and long may it continue.
Oh, yeah. Well, the first ever try I scored for the Wids was a pass from Tony MYLER. And the story is that if he could send an idiot like me in for a try, think what he could do if he had somebody decent outside.
John Lawless.
Yeah, and I was going to mention Tony MYLER actually as being, one of those who came through the Wids, and of course now a gang way the other way as well. I know Paul O'Connor was recently captain of the Wids, and of course he played for Widnes Vikings. So it's a two-way street now, and I think that's a good thing. And it's great that the Wids have, bred players of both codes and very good players of both codes, and I hope they continue to do so in the future.
Yeah, we'll say here to that.
We'll certainly try to, put it that way. All you can do is try.
Yeah. John Loughnane, thank you for coming on. And most of all, thank all your colleagues there at the Wids as well for being part of our Kit Out the Nation campaign throughout September.
I'll do that, Steve. And John, thank you very much for speaking to me. Yeah,
you take care, my friend. There we go. So there you go. There's John Loughnane down there at the Wids, Widnes Rugby Union Club, and we'll give you more information on that. But next Thursday, the 16th, between 5 o'clock and 10 o'clock in the evening, and then the following Tuesday, 9 till 12 in the morning. That's a drop-off point. It's in Heath Road. You can Google it. The Wids, Widnes Rugby Union.